All right, part 2 of the challenge. All right, let's see what we got here. So we put quite a bit of distilled water in here. So we're just probably going to top this bad boy off with a little bit more nitric. Let's see here. Get you down a little bit. Let's see what we got for coloration going on. So see, we have, hey, look at it. It's actually green this time. I like that. Last time we were doing with those chips, we had brown. That's no fun to deal with. So I'm happy with that. Let's get another charge of nitric in there before we go ahead and dump this batch out. Let's see, what do we got? Let's get a measurement. All right, so we're sitting, let's see here, almost at what, 1,000? We'll just top her up to 1,000. Maybe not even, just a little splash. See if we can rejuvenate this guy. All right, back on the heat. Hey, and cool, good news. This is still intact. So we'll keep running it. We'll do a couple experiments before we move on to the actual product. Because if it doesn't make it here, we're gonna have to use it somewhere else, some other place, and I really don't want to break them because they're awesome. Oh, before I let you go here, we're gonna go ahead and give this a stir quick. See if we can get those acids in contact with other materials down there. See if we can get other base metals exposed. There we go. Looks like this solution is just about done. Got a little bit of fumage action going on. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. See where we are at. All right, I'm picking a little bit of distilled water here. Rinse this off a little bit. Even the stuff at the top, that's gotta go. Alright, let's see if we can get that gold to kind of settle to the bottom here. Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, there it is. Nice little ring on the bottom. Okay. Get you back up here. Any more of that other stuff we don't need in there, that can go along with that. Alright. Let's try to do one. Let's get a kind of a gauge here. Let's feel where we're at. Clear the stuff off the edges here. Add a little bit of nitric, or distilled water, excuse me. I think we're just gonna put just a little bit in, nothing crazy. And then just a splash of the good stuff, nitric. See where we're at. I think we gotta be getting pretty close. That last bit I added in, I didn't get too much of a reaction. I mean, very little. Now, this isn't hot by any means. Let's see here. I think we're going to have to go into hand mode quick. We rinse this stir rod off. Alright. Hand mode. Alright, I really don't see any reaction. You see any bubbles? I don't. We're going to go ahead and throw that on the heat for a little while, and then we may have to store this for the next batch. Alright, so let's get this back on the heat. And let her rip. Alright, so with this leftover stuff that we took out of there, I'm just going to see what we've got for nitric left, if any. Sometimes when you start to boil it off, it looks like you still have reaction because you're getting the fumes. But I don't see anything really coming off of here, and just by the oh yeah, yep, nope, there it goes. You can see there on the edge. So we still have a good amount of nitric left over in there. You can tell just by how clean it is. So I'd have to say we've got everything we need to get out of there, all the base metal wise anyway. Alright, so I did remove this. It was kicking my butt a little bit, but I do not want the silver, if there's any at all. We should actually test for that quick. I don't want any of that going into or out of solution yet until we've got that solution nice and filtered. Alright, so let's give this a test. A new pipette. We're actually going to go ahead and move this a little closer. These plastic pipettes sure like warm solution. They start to get limp. So you got to be quick. Alright, that should be a good enough amount. Alright, that pipette is done. Alright, let's grab the hydrochloric pipette. A little bit of hydrochloric acid. And let's get you in for a close-up here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Any good? Any goods? And I'm gonna have to say negative. I don't see any silver coming out of solution. If there is any, it is not a lot. All right. So we got this. I just poured that solution out because I'm definitely thinking we've got all the base metals out of there. So we want to go ahead and make sure that we've got all of the base metal nitrates off of this stuff, so that we can go into a semi-clean solution when we go to AR. So let's go ahead and rinse this off a couple more times. I need to figure out how to get some cheap distilled water. I go through a lot of it, I seem like. Or it seems like, I should say. Go ahead and throw that here into the 5,000. And let's make some Aqua regia. And I don't think there's a whole lot of gold in here. So I'm basically going to just try and get everything covered here. May have to maneuver some stuff. Let's see here. Alright. And just in case there's any gold bearing items on the edge there, make sure we get that all down in the solution. Get everything under the hydrochloric as best we can. Alright, that should be pretty good. We can always stir this back up too, if need be. And let's see here. We know we rinsed it out properly. When the hydrochloric doesn't turn yellow right off the bat. So you can see here we still have pretty much colorless hydrochloric. So did a decent job rinsing all the nitrates off. Alright, let's go ahead and put a little bit of nitric in here now. It's not going to take much by any means. So we are going to go ahead and, I don't know if it's even going to take 3 mils. I guess we can go ahead and put 3 mils in. That's probably closer to 2.5. And no sulfuric this go around. We'll make sure we put sulfuric in the second drop. I do not want to add sulfuric when I've got all that carbon in there, because it'll create just a gooey mess. Well, potentially, right? Alright, well, let's get at that gold. Alright, let's break out the scientific straw. See if we got any platinum group metals in there. Actually, it'd be more so palladium. Than anything. I don't really see any reaction going on there. So I think we're good to go in that department. Solution has been sitting for, I don't know, day and a half, 2 days. So I'm just going to go ahead and heat this back up. And we're going to drop just a little bit more nitric in there to see if we have any more reaction. If we have reaction, we know we still have some metal to dissolve. And if not, well, we'll start to take it out. Well, after getting this back up to temperature, I'm going to have to say we've got all the gold dissolved and we're boiling off some of that nitric. Because we didn't have any reaction, and like I said, this has been sitting in there for like a day and a half. So I'm going to have to assume that the nitric would have been dissolving the gold very slowly. And yeah, let's see what we got. All right, so for this first go around, I just have a coffee filter in there, so we can capture as much of the solids as possible. Good news, this is still lasted. Where am I going to get a good view? Let's go like this. Alright, so in the meantime here, I'm going to go ahead and put a little more hydrochloric in. This stuff. Just a little bit. So if we went too far with our evaporation, or our unintentional evaporation, we'll be able to absorb some of those crystals back up. Alright. And let's see here. Just a small little bit of nitric just in case. I'm actually liking the color of that. Not a whole lot, just a couple of drops, probably a milliliter. Back up on the heat, that goes for a little bit. Just while we're going to filter this out. So this is going to need a couple filtrations. No questions about that. Alright, let's see. And we got a little bit ways to go here with the filtering. So I'll come back to you when we go ahead and transfer. I gotta we're gonna go move this down to a 1,000 milliliter beaker when we're handling this back and forth. So all right, I'll bring it back when we got all of this down in here and transferred back into our beaker. All right, so what we are going to do is break out the scientific straw and see if we still have any gold remaining. In that last batch. So I don't see really any color change in that. So I'd say we're okay there. We can go ahead and discard that solution. Which means our gold is here. Alright, let's do one more test here. Maybe. It's gonna give it up. Oh, hold on. There we go. What do we have here? I'd say nothing. Maybe a very, very light amount there at the bottom. Hold on. I don't know if you can see that. It is very opaque. All right, I'd say we're done filtering here. Go ahead and get rid of that. Alright, before we get to real crazy filtering here, break out the scientific straw one more time. That's not looking good. That is not looking good. Alright, let's go ahead and test my stannous here. So there's the color we got. Graphite. Well, here's my test solution. So it's working. Interesting. Interesting. Well, let's keep pushing forward and see what happens. Maybe I've got my solution too dilute with all that distilled water, and we're having a hard time reading it. That's the only thing I can think of right now. But we are gonna push forward and see what we can come up with. All right, let's get the filter in here. All right. So I'm gonna say this is gonna be the first official filtration. All right, here we go. I've got copper sulfate in here, and of course our gold solution. Hopefully we got some in there. A little bit of a color change. All right, well, only time will tell. Let's check on this in a little bit. I don't know. That's not looking pretty good. We're gonna have to find this out here. Let's see. Let's see how well this stays together. Pretty good. All right. Let's see. All right. Well, let's see what we got in there. Go ahead and get gloved up. Throw this in the temp stock pot here. And I'm just going to be careful. I'm going to watch the surface of the water, or surface of the solution, excuse me. Make sure we're not picking up any floaters. I know that the temp stock pot really enjoys its sacrificial gold. So I'm going to do the best I can and not give them that gold, but at the same time, I don't want any bad luck. So I might have to give them some, a little more the next go around. This does not look like a whole lot of gold, I'm not gonna lie. And there's a very small amount coming along with it. That's all you're getting, Mr. Stockpot. Alright. Well, I can tell you already that we do not have any championship numbers here. Alright, we're going to keep going. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and transfer this to a smaller beaker yet. Yeah, this stuff is tiny. Alright, we're going to go ahead and evaporate some of this water out, because that's about the same level of hydrochloric I think I want in here for this next drop. So, project's going to have to come off, and hold on here. Not losing it this far by not having a catch pan, I'll tell you that. Alright. And we'll start evaporating that. The heat will make it settle more, a little faster anyway. I got to clean my my pot out here. It is a little dirty. But anyways, we'll let this gold settle back down, and then it'll slowly evaporate. All right, I am going to keep this at a lower temp because I don't want it to start boiling. If I leave it too long, that little gold will start spattering all over the place, and that will not help me out here. So we're going to go low and slow on this, and then once we got enough of that distilled water out, we'll go ahead and redissolve that again. See if we can get a little cleaner gold out of there, a little stuff that's going to hold together a little bit better anyway, because that stuff's it's pretty colloidal. So I'd say we're at a good spot. We can start putting this bad boy in Aqua regia here. Let's see. Grab my gloves quick. Alright. It's not going to take much at all. Let's grab our nitric. See if we can get a pretty cool visual for you anyways. I don't think we're going to get a good number, at least out of this go around. I may have to reprocess my, reburn my chips, see if I can free any up in the carbon. And it's not going to take much at all. Got about a milliliter of nitric. So let's see here. I just added a little bit more hydrochloric. Notice my camera wasn't actually recording. I didn't hit the button hard enough. But we're going to go ahead and put a little bit more nitric in. See if we can get the rest of that dissolved. And we should be ready to roll for the second drop. We're going to put a couple more in. That should be plenty. And back up on the heat it goes. Alright, we'll let that cook for however long it takes to get the rest of that in solution. And yeah, filter it out. I'm going to use my little flask this time because we have a very minimal amount of solution to filter. And actually, this go around, I think I'm going to put a little bit of sulfuric acid in too. I didn't put any in last go around. Come on, baby. Child-proof? You mean Cody-proof? Alright. A little sulfuric acid. Perfect. I might not need to add that because I am probably going to need to put a little bit of sulfamic in there. But just in case there is a lot of lead, we'll throw in some backup. Alright, now that I have to say it, that is a wrap. I don't see any fumes coming down. If any at all. Let's see if we got a reaction here. Because I do... Oh boy, that's not good. That's quite a bit of stuff still on the bottom there. That's not good. That's probably half of the gold that was in there. Or gold. Not good at all. Alright. Well, do we want to try putting a couple more milliliters? Or I think it's donezo. I bet you if I put sulfamic acid in there, there'd be a reaction. Let's see. Let's give that a test. I'm just going to put a very little bit amount. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's gold. Alright, well, I stand corrected. Let's put a little bit more nitric in there, see what we get. Alright, let's see if we see any reaction right off the bat. I don't see any bubbles going on. How about you? I don't think that's cooked lead sulfates. That doesn't look like gold either, though. And I do see a very, very light reaction going on. But I imagine that's the sulfamic I put in there. Alright, well, let's keep going. Alright, so this stuff looks a little white. Well, I mean, yellow looking at it, but I imagine when we go and filter this out, it's going to be a very light particulate. Alright, well, let's get some sulfamic in there. Yeah, because that's a whole bunch of nitric left over. Add a little bit of distilled water to this. And let's filter this bad boy out. Alright, well, let's see what we got. Just gonna do some SMB this go around. Man, that was starting to worry me. That took forever to come out of solution. It actually looks like it's a semi-decent color too. Well, let's get after it. Well, there she is. Not a whole lot. It's got pretty decent color though. So let's, I think I'm just going to do a rinse or two with some distilled water, and then we'll go ahead and dry what little gold we got out here. I don't know, Mike. I think you're gonna have bigger numbers than this. Okay, we'll let that settle back down, and then go ahead, dry it out, see what we got. The last pour of distilled water before we go into drying here. Well, time for evaporation. We're just gonna go low and slow so we don't spit any of that gold up. I've done it too fast, and you actually boil the water in there, and then it starts spattering your gold all over the place. It kind of stinks. Luckily, I've had the top on, so it's all been contained. You just kind of got to rinse it back in there, but then you got to start all over, because now you got to rinse all the gold back into the bottom so you can consolidate it, and yeah, low and slow. Low and slow. And here we go. Scale is zeroed out. Hold on. I don't know. I think, Mike, you got me on this one. Big time. Oh, man, look at that. Hardly anything. Got a little bit left in there, but not much to tip the scale. There we go. 0.1. Let's see here. It's going crazy now. .13. I got some gold to find, I think. What is going on, everybody? What a fun time, man. You could probably hear it in my voice, like I am gonna get my rear kicked while dealing with the gold. Oh man, I was watching the video, doing some editing, and you could just hear the the enthusiasm just fly out the window as I know defeat was imminent. So, Mike, I tip my hat off to you. That was excellent. It was fun. I am gonna put out a bonus video, right? So I'll do a part 3 to this. I won't count it towards the challenge because I'm thinking to myself, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reburn my the plastics in there, right? Well, there shouldn't be any plastics at this point. I've burned them twice already. So I just want to see if I can free up any sort of gold that the carbon might have absorbed, and I'll reprocess those again. So even if it had taken half of my yield, I'm still only looking at, 0.2, 0.26. Not a lot. Still below you. Still below you. So I'm just going to say right off the bat, it was a great time. I had a great time. We should do this again. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of fun. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you for the bonus video.